and good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing? We're back. We're live. We are streaming once again. All right. Now, it was a little bit of a short waiting stream, but I hope you guys are doing very well. We are back. We're live. We are, of course, going to be covering a bunch of different tournaments that are going on. We're probably going to do a little bit of disrespect speed run, cover some articles, and just chill. So we are back once again. How was Nolans? New Orleans was quite good. I had a good time there. It was fun. I was only there a couple of days, and it was rather unpleasantly cold, but the people were amazing. The food was great, even though the portions were way too much. At any rate, it was a lot of fun, and it's good. So we're back. We are going to cover some of the events that are going on. Now, we do have the event in Charlotte, which is happening, and we do have the event, the Charlotte Open 2023, and then we of course have Tata Steel. So all right, let's start with Tata Steel. Today's been a very boring day. There have been 4 quick draws. Magnus Carlsen drew against Ding Liren. Gukesh just drew against Noterbeck. Parham Magsudlu and Anish drew. And we have Report and Wesley drawing. Are you going to be doing Tata recaps? Levy has turned into a clown show. Very funny. Of course, I'm not paying attention to what Levy is up to. That doesn't really matter either way. So 4 quick draws. We have a couple of games still going. We have Arjun against Levon. We have Prag versus Vincent Kamer. We have Fabiano versus Jordan. Fabiano is going to win. Prag is looking more and more drawish. And Arjun, probably a draw, but there is some play in this game as well. So, excuse me. Thank you so much to Aldor for the tier 1, Scorpion for the Prime, Dual Tassium for the Prime, SL Screws for the Prime, Super Cheeky Man for the Prime, Delay with the Prime, and TFLO with the Prime. Thank you so much. Thank you to Leak Geek for the 29 months, the Synchro for the 2, Don B. McGee for the 4, Teddyverse for the 25 months. Thank you so much. Why am I not playing in Tata Steel? Well, I was in New Orleans filming some content, which will probably be on YouTube, if other stuff, YouTube at the very least. So we have, we are working on some non-chess specific. Whoa, sorry, thank you so much to Kazuma for the 25 subs. We are working on some non-Twitch specific stuff, I should say. So, all right, so games today have not been that exciting, so I'm just generally going to talk about the players. If we look at the players, there are a couple players who have not gotten off to good starts. Very specifically, Gukesh has lost 2 games to start the tournament. Very rough start. Lost a tough first game to Ding. Voice is still rough. Yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm still a little bit sick, but I feel relatively good. I have good energy, so it's all good. At any rate, so Ding of course has started great. 2 points out of 3, 1 win. Gukesh not very good. Kamer has not been great. Obviously, the other player who has struggled is Jordan Van Forest. Now, Jordan had white in the first 2 games. He drew both of them, but he was in a lot of trouble. And now today he is going to lose to Fabiano. So not a great start for Jordan either. Is this new merch? No, I've worn this before. So we're going to be covering the last couple of games for a little bit. Charlotte is going on. We have a bunch of streamers over there. We have Bortnick. We have Daniel Naroditsky, who apparently drew. Daniel drew in the opening against a 24-59. What? Okay, so Daniel took a draw against a 24-59 in 11 moves. Kind of surprising to see that, but he did draw, and that is a big surprise. Okay, so he drew. Who else is playing? Andrew Tang is playing as well in this event, playing against a 2360 FM. So there are some games in Charlotte, but we'll cover Tata for the time being. All right. So we have 3 games going. As I said, Arjun versus Levon looks fairly drawish, maybe a little bit better for Lev, but again, after King C4, Knight B3, E4, E5, hard to see Lev winning this. Should be a draw. A draw is a win for Black. No, a draw is even result for both sides. May I ask why you're not playing Tata Steel? Because I had some IRL content I had to film, as I said, in New Orleans. Also, frankly, it's a very long tournament. It's cold, it's far away, and there's just too much going on. So that's how it goes. Thank you so much to Decode for the 20 months. Thank you so much to John Carlo for the 26. What you got, Tonmo for the 6. Thank you to Court and ML for the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, all right. So let's focus. Thank you, Rev Patrick, for the 20 months. No money in it. No. So actually, you guys, to be clear, as far as Tata Steel goes, there is a first prize, which I believe is about $10,000, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's 15,000 these days. I'm not sure, but there is actually a there is a legit prize. I think it's $15,000 if I'm not mistaken. So that is first place. So what is going on over here? Like I said, Praxium going to be a draw. Jordan should be losing. Fabiano has bishop d4, bishop d6. Both look very good for white, and I assume this will be over pretty soon. Little compared to what he makes here in 2 weeks. Well, I mean, everybody who's making content, it's a little bit different. So yeah. All right. So we have 3 games going here. Charlotte is still going on. As I said, there's some games over here. Andrew Tang is playing a London system as well, just like Magnus did. Apparently he's in some trouble here, at least according to the valuation. Black's a little bit better. It says what, like 0.8. So black is probably better, but long way to go in this game. So we will just leave it on Tata for the time being. I will probably do the disrespect speedrun. We have some articles to cover later. Thank you so much for raid for NEIR for the 5 get to subs. Thank you so much. So thank you so much to D Steven 24 for the 3 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much to Rares 818 for the 27 months. So yeah. Did they invite me to Tata Steel? Yes, you guys. So I was invited to Tata Steel, but as I said, it just didn't work out. That's how it goes. Yes, they did. They did. All right. So like I said, 3 games going. Of course, these games are being played in classical chess, which means it's a big fat snooze fest. You might want to go to bed because these games go way too long. And as we've seen so far, the draw rate is extremely high. It's somewhere around like 75%. Thus far, it's just, yeah, it's what it is. So at any rate, yeah, we have 3 games still going. Good you aren't playing because it's a snooze fest. Well, I mean, the games are exciting, but this is the typical problem with classical chess versus Raptor Blitz. The games are interesting, but they go for like 6 hours, and the majority of games do end in draws. That's just how chess works. What do you want me to say? So to be honest, it's difficult. It's difficult to be super enthused by classical chess. Thank you so much to Karen Mose Sinher for the prime. Thank you so much. Timer, well, in Tata Steel, the time control is very slow, as I understand. I think it's 40 moves in 2 weeks, or 2 weeks, 40 moves in 2 hours. And then I think it's 20 moves in maybe 35 to 40 minutes. And there's also a third control, an additional 15 minutes for the rest of the game. Yeah, I said 2 weeks. That's quite a bit of time. So at any rate, they get a guaranteed appearance fee. I believe there are appearance fees for Tata Steel. One thing that is generally true these days of most tournaments is that there are very limited appearance fees. Most of the money is solely in the prize fund altogether. So it's a bit of an antiquated thing. It exists in a handful of tournaments, but it is not the standard. All right. So what do we have? Okay, so Vincent is trying desperately to stay this game after losing to Magnus yesterday. He's down a pawn, opposite color B shops. Has chances, but pretty difficult. So, when can they adjourn? There are no adjournments in modern day chess. What is with your voice got cold? I mean, I'm a touch under the weather. I've been a touch under the weather since I was in Kazakhstan, so it is what it is. But I feel pretty good. I mean, I don't feel like I'm not like tired or anything. So, it's just how it goes. So, all right, so 3 games, Jordan Van Forest against Fabiano, still going on. Should be winning here, bishop d4, bishop d6. Both good moves. Fabiano likely going to get on the scoreboard and be shared first place. Fabiano looking good with a new haircut. Now, I do not know what his new haircut is, but I heard some people saying it was not very good. Thank you so much to No Johns for the 17 months. Appreciate it. Who won last year? Jordan Van Forest won last year, but he's been struggling. His rating is down to 2681. To me, at least, it looks like he's very underrated, but it is what it is. Refresh my page. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, so bishop d6 was played. Is Tata still irrelevant for the candidates? Not really. It does count in terms of this new spot they've added, which I believe is called the there's like what, the circuit qualifier or something. So technically it counts, but in reality it's just a one-off event. Nothing significant other than the pure cold hard cash. Thank you so much to Cornet for the 11 months. Thank you so much to Cornet. Appreciate it. Okay, so Fabiano's thinking Arjun still going. Prague versus Vincent. So we're probably not going to get moves pretty quickly. Magnus won Tata last year. Jordan won 2 years ago. Aha, okay. Fair enough. So yeah, so we have the games here. Let's go back to we'll go back over to Charlotte for a little bit. Let's see what Bortnick is doing. He's playing against Brigadzzi from Georgia, the country, not the state. Looks pretty good for Bortnick. I don't understand this opening. Okay, so we get c4 here. Probably queen takes a6, queen c5 should be winning for black. White has 4 pieces undeveloped. King is very open, just a lone queen. No ice skaters because the knight can always go backwards. So I assume black is winning here. Thank you so much to Mr. Mojo Rising for the 15 months. Do I think they'll get rid of the Sinkfield Cup? I believe the Sinkfield Cup is happening. I think there was the Grand Chess Tour announcement, which said that it's going to be in December. Thank you so much to Sharp Chess for the 30 months. Thank you so much to Sharp Chess. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, all right. So Andrew Tang is still playing. These games are much earlier, but the time is pretty good. They only have about 40 minutes for the rest of until time control. So these games will heat up. Unlike Tata Steel, where these games are basically in a lull, they literally just reach time control, which means everybody's going to sit and think for 30 minutes. So I will probably just talk to you guys for the next 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you so much to Huge Willis for the 8 months. Thank you so much to Hugh Willis. Appreciate it. Did I drink Tang as a kid? I used to love that. Yes, I did drink Tang a lot as a kid, actually. It was great. You get that powder, you pour it with the water. It's fantastic. Thank you so much to Spy's Hideout for the 29 months as well. Thank you so much to Only One Even Prime for the 27 months. Thank you so much. So, yeah. All right, so what do we have? We have Fabiano's game. Fabiano has all kinds of stuff. Takes. 2 connected pawns. Looks very clean. Should be a very smooth win for Fabiano. He is going to win this game, and with it, he is going to be shared first place. More importantly, Fabiano will finally regain his #1 spot, I believe, as the top American chess player, ahead of somebody who doesn't even play chess professionally. So good for Fabiano. Anyway, let's see. So we just have these 3. I haven't really been covering the other event at all, so we'll just leave it here for now, and I'll probably just talk to you guys mostly for the next like 10 to 15 minutes. We may do a viewer arena at some point, depending, but we'll leave it here for now. So, all right. Thanks so much for Chicken Dog for the Prime. Thanks so much, Chicken Dog. Appreciate it. Sub games would be amazing. We can definitely do sub games later. Thanks to LCTDOBH for the 9 months. We will, of course, be doing the Disrespect speedrun, playing Blitz, all the usual. The 2 top American players are a podcaster and a streamer, SMH. Yeah, I agree. It's pretty amazing, right? Pretty amazing. I see Fabiano shave his head. No, I did not see that, you guys. Thank you so much to Z Skills RS for the 8 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I did not see it. So, okay, so Fabiano wins Arjun. Prague Kamer, again, like I said, all pretty standard. Knight c6 should be a draw because a6, bishop c4 collects the a pawn. And if you go knight g7, knight a5, knight h5, knight b7, check here, it should be a draw. Should be a draw. Things are the Pog ones for the Prime. Thank you so much. Do I have any plans to visit Colorado soon? No. I will say, I mean, I feel like I've gotten sick the last couple of times that I've traveled. And as I said, like, my body's just not reacting the way it used to travel. So I probably will not be traveling all that much, except when I have to, if I can help it. Thank you so much to Braden Kate for the tier 1. Thank you to Stephen Ayua for the tier 1. Thank you so much. So, all right, rook c1. Thank you so much to LCDTOBH for the 5 gifted. Now, the problem here is that even like g4, this probably is just losing because the pawn and the knight cover the critical squares. Rook c2, king e3, check king d2, and you can't stop this juicer. So Fabiano very, very much on his way to a victory. Am I following any sports at the moment? NFL, NBA? I am following the NFL, of course. Tonight will finally be the last game that Tom Brady ever plays. It's about time. He needs to retire, and that's that. So, okay, what else? Okay, we get g6, knight e7, probably bishop c4, maybe bishop b7 also, but probably bishop c4, knight c6. Again, should be a draw, although you have to be careful. You have to be careful. I don't know what that was. Because if knights get trade off the board, white does have the wide peepos, and this might actually be winning. I think it's a draw, but again, you have the wide people, so there are chances to win. So we'll see. Brady lost Giselle for not a great season. Yeah, but he still made the playoffs. Still made the playoffs because they're in the worst division. Why do you seem upset in the tournaments? I don't know what you mean. So, all right. Fabiano plays King E3 again. Or wait, sorry. What happened? King E3, King E8. Probably King D4 wins. Even Knight H4, frankly. Even with all these pawns, this also wins. So everything is winning for Fabiano unless he completely loses his mind. Losing record, but still made the playoffs. Well, as we know, the NFC South was not, shall we say, adequate. So, all right. Fabiano gets the win. Prague's game still going. Arjun looks pretty standard. Nothing too exciting. So we will probably move on pretty soon and go from there. Marriage is temporary. Football is forever. I don't know if I agree with that, but anyway, it is what it is. Thank you so much to Andy Foz for the 3 months. Thank you so much to Andy Foz. Appreciate it. Thank you. So, all right. So Arjun taking his time, Prague taking his time. Let's go back to Charlotte. We'll take a look at these games. Like I said, we're covering the game of the top G, Andrew Tang. Apparently Andrew Tang is losing to a 2360. Computer says takes queen d5 or even e5 and bishop f5. It's just great with the double op combo. White cannot castle the king. So once again, this looks pretty bad for the top G. Thank you so much to Just Blaze Joe for the 21 months. Appreciate it. And this, my friends, is why you do not take courses on the London and try to play the opening, because it is absolute trash. So what else do we have? Okay, Bortnick won his game very quickly. Queen c5, queen a5, rook takes b5. Nice clean win for Alexander Bortnick. Canty lost to a 1900. What? You guys are trolling, right? Things are just Fool Steve Martin for the 22 and Lenny's Bro for the 200 bits. Wait a second. Whoa, wait. You said James Canty lost to a 1900 in Charlotte? Ay. That is unfortunate for Mr. Canty. But it is what it is. Okay, knight c6. Takes, knight d5, knight a5. Check d7, knight c6. Easy draw. White can't do anything. So this game will be drawn, I think, soon. Although, wait, so actually White gets the wide peepos here. But White has no entry. So this might just be a draw. If you could get the king to e5, you'd be able to win. Like, for example, say Black goes here. This is winning. Because with the wide peepos, you can't really stop the king and stop the two split pawns. This is winning, but this should just be a draw pretty soon. I think there was a late in FN for the 24 months. I guess Vincent decided that endgame was a draw, so he goes to knight d5. I think there's a Luigi Manger for the prime. Thank you, QL0 for the 26 months. Appreciate it. Thank you. Who's the best Indian player when it comes to classical format? I will say I've been disappointed. I'm going to be honest. I've been disappointed in both the players so far. I've been disappointed in Gukesh and Arjun. Gukesh, to be fair, had a bad first game with the white piece, which got him off to the bad start. But Arjun has been very flat in the first 3 games. I feel like he's been he hasn't been great. He's been hanging on kind of, but he hasn't really been showing that power. So I'm a little bit disappointed in both of them thus far in the event, but it is a very long event, so long way to go. Vishy, of course, is the best Indian classical chess player. And as I told Vishy yesterday, I wrote to Vishy because, of course, you know, obviously we know each other. I was telling him, like, Vishy, you should be in there playing, and Vishy was like, it's very tempting. It's very tempting to want to play, but alas, Vishy is not playing. So it is what it is. These guys are pretty young. Yeah, I mean, of course they're getting experience, to be fair. You can't be too harsh on them. But at the end of the day, it's still... ooh, bishop g5, nice move. Hits the pawn. Knight f1, maybe a5, e4, king a3. Again, hard to judge what the actual evaluation is here, but I assume it's easier to play for black. Things are just tally for the 17. But, this game is a good example when I look at Arjun. Arjun has been worse from the get-go. He got surprised in the opening. Love played this d5 dc4 line, and he's just been on his back foot the whole game, desperately trying to survive, and I just doesn't feel like the Arjun that we're used to seeing. I think we should tech up for the 2 months. Appreciate it. Let's go back to Charlotte. Someone said that they said that not Tang, sorry, James Canty is losing to a 1700. What? Okay, it's 0.9. It's not like it's winning, but yeah, this is Unfortunate. 1794. Yikes. Yikes. He is worse though. He's definitely worse in this position, and it's not a great structure either. So big yikes. Can we see which game? I just showed the Canty game. We can show the Arjun game. I don't know which one you're talking about, but oh, 1 move ago he's completely lost. Okay, wait. 1 move. Wait. Okay, let's see. So what? E4? No, B4. Wait, what? B4, G4, and F4, I guess, to trap the tower. Not bad. 1700 is not going to find B4 though. Don't expect a 1700 finding that. Thank you so much, Luquitos for the 23, Scarlet Olive 4 for the 9, and Chase Prime for the 11. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, you guys. So again, 1700, I don't know. That's a bit much. Okay, Jordan is still struggling on, but Fabiano with the 2 connected pass pawns, this will be over in plenty of time. Fabiano will win this game. So just 3 games. That's it. Why is B4 needed, not G4 and F4 right away? Okay, so without looking, let me use my human brain. I assume G4, there's some C5, D4. Like something like this, and just like that, you get play. Yeah, of course, because by going B4, you hit the queen. So C5, you eat the tower, and then you're just you have 2 towers instead of 1. Of course, 2 is always better than just having the 1 tower at Baradur. And after Queen A3, then you just go G4, and there's no C5 because the pawn on B4 holds the square. So pretty straightforward. So that's why it's winning. Of course, not easy for us humans to see, but for a computer, very straightforward. Thanks so much to Dr. Mustache for the 20 months. Am I not playing? 'Cause I'm a little sick. No, I'm not playing for other reasons. I've been a little bit sick since Kazakhstan. If I don't like completely feel great by like next week, I'll probably go see a doctor. But at any rate, it has nothing to do with my health. Why don't you play a gala match against Magnus, Rapid Blitz, and Time during the World Championship? Okay, you guys, so on that note, let's take a break. Let me mute this tab so we don't hear the moves coming on. Let's move to our articles. Let's cover our 1 article that we have, because that's right in tune with what we're doing. All right, let's go to our article scene, and we will cover 1 article to start with. Let me stop the music, and away we go. All right. Make this a little bit bigger, and here is our article. I'll make this much bigger. There we go. All right, so we have our article to cover. It says, where will the World Championship match take place, by Mr. Andre Schultz. According to the calendar put forth by the International Chess Federation FIDE, the World Championship match between Jan Nepomniachtchi and Ding Liren is set to begin on April 7th. However, FIDE has yet to announce a host or a location for the event. The pandemic, Russia's attack on Ukraine, and the withdrawal of reigning champion Magnus Carlsen have caused many complications for the organization. All right, time trouble. The COVID-19 pandemic has thrown the FIDE calendar into disarray, particularly regarding the World Championships. The match that was set to take place in the fall of 2020. Wow, that's crazy, isn't it? Following the 2018 match between Magnus Carlsen and Fabiano Caruana was disrupted by the pandemic. The 2020 Candidates Tournament, which determined the challenger, was halted and only resumed in 2021. The World Championship match between Jan Nepomniachtchi and Carlsen took place only in late 2021, so FIDE is now trying to catch up and get back on track with the original schedule. Furthermore, additional difficulties arose. With Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the country has been shunned from the international community and is now under sanctions, which means international sporting events cannot take place in Russia for the time being. Chess has always had a special and even political significance in Russia. Over the decades, many high-level chess events have been held in the country, and when no one else, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Where was I? And when no one else was willing to host an expensive tournament, the Russian Chess Federation would step in with the support of state-owned companies or government-connected oligarchs, as was the case in 2014, when FIDE could not find a host for Carlsen's second World Championship match against Anand. The match was eventually held in Sochi, and Vladimir Putin himself was present at the awards ceremony. Gross. The last 2 FIDE presidents, Kirsan Ilyumzhinov and now Arkady Dvorkovich, are Russian and had close ties to the inner circle of the Russian government and were able to secure funding for chess tournaments. With Russia's invasion of Ukraine, all that is now history and unlikely to return. According to the decision of the International Olympic Committee, Russian sports federations are no longer allowed to host international sporting events. Russian teams are excluded, and in most individual competitions, Russian athletes are also excluded. In chess, however, they are allowed to participate under the FIDE flag. The winner of the upcoming match will be the 17th World Chess Champion. Not that anybody cares, because they won't be the best player in the world, but it will be difficult for either of them to justify his having the title, while there is another rated player around 50 ELO points higher in the world ranking. The situation is reminiscent of the time when FIDE in the 1900s and 2000s determined their world champions through knockout tournaments, while simultaneously a classical world champion was also crowned. Okay. Admittedly, Carlsen has other features that make him a better world champion as well. Well, no kidding. As a Norwegian, he can be well marketed in Western countries. Carlsen has charisma, is well known worldwide, and for the most part, knows how to deal with the media. Jan Nepomniachtchi and Ding Liren are nice people, but they cannot compete in this regard. Now, who would like to host a somewhat underwhelming world championship match and raise the required prize fund of $2 million in addition to the organizational cost? Russia would have been a natural location, but it is now out of the question. Does Nepomniachtchi want to play the whole match in China? And is there enough money in the Asian country for such a chess match in times of ongoing pandemics and economic recession? In India, perhaps money and an organizer could be found, given the great enthusiasm for chess, but the relationship between India and China is not great. Nepomniachtchi is an honest person and spoke out critically soon after his home country attacked Ukraine. But despite that, it is unlikely that a world championship match with a Russian player would be accepted in a Western country at the moment. The International Chess Federation FIDE has set April 7th to 30th as the dates for the match. FIDE President Arkady Dvorkovich had revealed on various occasions that there was a promising bid from Mexico. The organizers in Mexico wanted to incorporate the match into a large festival with many additional events. However, it seems that the plans could not be realized. According to David Yada, FIDE's communication officer, there are other options on the American continent. A FIDE delegation is currently on site and is conducting talks, although the exact place was not revealed. The desired match date is quickly approaching. FIDE and the potential local organizer are in deep time trouble. Okay, so first things first, they say there's another country in the runnings. I am pretty sure I know what that country is, so I will say it. I believe that other country on the continent that is in the running is apparently Argentina, from what I have heard. So we'll see if the event actually ends up being held in Argentina or in Mexico. But at any rate, they definitely are under a big crunch here. April 7th to 30th, having the dates. It is January 16th. The way that I read this is straightforward. To me, it's very clear that Magnus Carlsen was the single most valuable asset FIDE had, and when they essentially tried to call his bluff about not changing format and him not playing the World Championship match, they basically lost any chance of getting Western sponsors, and with it, it's made things very, very difficult for FIDE. That is my general read of the situation. Is that without Magnus, FIDE is struggling to get funding. Most of their funding came from Russia. Obviously, they can't get Russian funding, and now it's very difficult when you have the best player in the world, the undisputed world champion. I don't care who wins this match because no one cares. They won't be the world champion. They will not be the best player in the world, and without Magnus, FIDE is in a lot of trouble. So we'll see if they can get a sponsor in like Mexico or Argentina to hold the event. Again, there is not a lot of time remaining. Inside of 3 months now, they've had a lot of time. The Canada's tournament, which I played in, I believe was in July. Like, maybe I'm crazy, but in 7 months, they could not get a sponsor. To me, that says it all about the state of FIDE. You're a millionaire, give them your money. Ha, ha, ha. Very funny, you guys. Very funny. So, at any rate, that's what we have in terms of our article. So, we're going to go back to the games now for a little bit, and we'll go from there. Also, once again, as someone said, why don't you play a gala match against Magnus, Rapid, and Blitz and time it during the World Championship match? You never know. That sounds like an interesting idea. On the other hand, if something like that were to happen, I'm pretty sure that FIDE would not be amused at all. Again, we'll see if the event happens, like I said, but as of right now, there is no location. There are set dates, and we are all waiting to see what happens. So, not good at all. Have chess.com sponsor it. I don't know, you guys. I feel like chess.com is doing quite well organizing all these other events that people are in love with. I don't know why chess.com would want to sponsor. I mean, unless chess.com is literally going to buy out FIDE for like a whopping, I don't know, $1 or something. I mean, if that happens, sure, it could be. But again, at the end of the day, I mean, unless chess.com is buying FIDE for like $1 or maybe like, I don't know, like $100 or something, I don't think it's going to happen. So let's leave it there. Let's get back to the game. So let me put the music back on and away we go. Let me change the scene. Once again, sorry you guys, I'm a touch under the weather still. I have a little bit of nasally stuff going on, so if I sound a little bit off, that's the reason. But I am here streaming for you guys because this is my job. It's what I do, and eventually I'll recover, and if I don't, well, so be it. Thank you so much to Mobo for the 4, Ocha Chess for the 3. Thank you, Doc Education for the 27, and Vikes for the 42. Thank you. Thank you so much to TF Crystal for the Prime, Arnasa Graham for the Tier 1, Hakayedin for the Prime, Recina with the Prime, and Polaris Bear for the Tier 1. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. How was my time in New Orleans? It was good. I mean, the weather wasn't great. It was actually much colder than I expected. So I think I got a little bit sick again when I was there. I was feeling pretty good when I went, but yeah, a little bit sick again. So it's okay. How long? I've been a little bit under the weather since like the beginning of the year, since I left Kazakhstan. Started feeling sick the last day that I was there. So at any rate, okay, so what do we have? Fabiano won his game. Okay, Jordan threw in the towel finally. So Jordan resigns. Fabiano tied for the lead. We have 2 games. We have Prague versus Vincent. We have Arjun versus Levon. Apparently this is some kind of weird blunder. H5. I don't know why, but it is. Thank you so much to Wando for the 3 months. Appreciate it. Also, this should be a draw because at the end of the day, I'm looking at this as the wrong color queening square. Bishop is on dark squares versus the pawn on H5. So like, one hypothetical way that black tries to... What the heck? What's going on? Why is it doing that? One hypothetical way that this could go is something like this, and I'll just illustrate it. You get some position like this, where the king is coming in, but at the end of the day, I go like here, takes here, and let's just illustrate it. At some point I can sack, or actually with the double pawns it doesn't work, but just to illustrate it, if you ever get some position like this is just a draw, because even if you can somehow win the pawn, it's the wrong color square. So my assumption is this should be a draw with some play. Hope you recover soon. I'll be fine, don't worry, you guys. Prague versus Vincent still going. King e6, knight h7. Still a ways to go though. So yeah, 2 games to go. Let's see, we have Charlotte going on still. Canty's in trouble. E4 is very bad for Canty. E4, bishop c8, queen d4. Thank you so much to Silly Sir for the 4 months. So Canty is in big trouble against a 1794. This is not what you want. I mean, I think Canty's there to try to make a norm, but this is one thing that I would also say, you guys, and again, the most obvious example is of course Levy, but it's very difficult if you're not at the absolute top levels to kind of do content creation and then play serious chess, because like the general knowledge base is not as strong. And we saw it with Levy, you see it at the master level a lot. It's happening with Canty here too, where Canty does a lot of commentary, a lot of content, and now he's trying to play over the board and he's struggling mightily as well. So it's very, very difficult to sort of wear multiple hats. And again, people are gonna be like, I'm shocked no one has done the Pago, and they're like, oh really? Like, you're basically saying you're better than everybody else. But it is true that generally if you try to teach or do things at a lower level, it does affect your competitive abilities. Thank you so much to High Road for the Prime. Thank you so much to Biz the Kiddo for the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Biz the Kiddo. So at any rate though, it is true. I mean, Levy is the most obvious example, but Canty, it's exactly in the same kind of vein, same thing. But it is true that I'm better than everyone else. Okay, you guys, very funny. I wouldn't say that I'm the exception. What I would say is that I'm at such a high level that the understanding is so good that the little things to work on are very minimal, as opposed to across the board. Like players who are like 2300, they have a lot more weaknesses than say I do, for just a basic example. Like again, there's that. I'm not teaching low level chess. Yeah, I mean, that is one thing I will say, is that since the start, one thing I've always been very consistent on with my stream and YouTube content is I do not try to do things at a very basic level, because I've always wanted to maintain a certain level of ability to play. And I do feel that if I decided to go and just do beginner videos for like 800s, 900 players, it would catch up with me at some point when I try to play against other 2700s. I am 100% confident that it would catch up. It would catch up with me. Thank you so much to Not Schools for the 5, Jira Hybrid for the 17, and Paul Tom for the 17. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So that's what I would say. Is like, I've made that is a conscious point. No, Levy has nothing to do with being anxious, you guys. The fact is, Levy is doing content at a beginner level. He's doing things that are very basic that is going to affect you when you try to play competitive games. You saw it with Levy, you can see it, you see it here with Canty, exact same thing. There is no difference. Canty is not, I mean, he's not 1800. He should not be losing to an 1800, but it's very difficult to try to study, is to try and play. He's playing openings that he doesn't normally play. Like, this is turned into some kind of exchange Slav slash like semi Taraj. Like, this is just not his sort of game. So yeah, that's the bottom line, you guys, is that it's one of those things where it's what it is. Levy and Botez both struggled over the board. Like I said, it's just different. It's just completely different. And obviously, like Canty, same boat. It's what it is. So yeah, it's just how it goes. Okay, so we have these games going. Bortnick won. Andrew is in big trouble also against a 2300, but Andrew is in trouble for other reasons. So Andrew's in trouble, you guys, because it's his problem is not that he's streaming. His problem is that he's actually busy, I think, trying to finish college and get a job with SIG, I think, if I have the company correct, which is a finance firm. So his problem is he's just not studying chess and he's just winging it. So it's a little bit different, but still it's not looking good for any of the streamers other than Bortnick. But Bortnick, obviously, of course, as I've said before, Bortnick a little bit different too, because Bortnick is a very strong 2600 plus player. I mean, he is a very strong GM. So again, as you get higher and higher, it's easier, I think, to do both of these things as opposed to having to focus solely on one. So to me, it's not very surprising, because Bortnick has always had a high quality. Could he be 2700? No, Bortnick could never be 2700. If he really grinded hard, maybe 2650. But again, that's still very, very good. So okay, what else do we have? We have these games. I'll put it back on Tata Steel. We have 2 games remaining, so I'm gonna go use the restroom very quickly. We're gonna come right back, you guys. I will get into the speed run and other stuff a little bit later on, but we'll just cover these games for now. So give me a second. All right, so what happened? We got e5. Where does Bortnick live, by the way? I believe Alexander Bortnick lives very close to me. I don't know how close to me, but I think he lives relatively close. Thoughts on Soupy? I have not been following the B group other than yesterday. Let me see if I can find that game. I do want to mention that game, because this game belongs in the Hall of Shame. Let me pull up this game from yesterday. So this game actually belongs in the Hall of Shame. Here we go. I do want to point out this game from the B group yesterday. There was a game played between Jurgis Pechak and, of course, Amin Tabatabai from Iran. There was this great King's Gambit opening played by Pechak, and we saw this opening here where basically Amin, a 2686 player, very close to 2700, just completely blunders a piece like a total beginner here, and he should have lost the game immediately. But instead, his opponent, who is, 2630, found a way from being up one piece odds to then throw the whole game away and lose in a very sad way. So this game belongs in the Hall of Shame. I did want to point this out. This was a game that I followed yesterday where basically a 2686 player just hangs a piece on move 7 to a 2637 player, and the 2637 player, I don't know like what happened, but he found a way to lose from being up a piece in a completely winning position out of the opening. So clearly they don't make 2637s like they used to, and if those 2630s don't have that like magic prep, clearly bad things happen. So this was one game that I want to point out. It's the only game that I followed yesterday, so that's I did want to point that out. Oof. Well, I mean, like I said, it's just I don't know what I'm supposed to say, because he was up a piece on move 6 and he lost. Like, okay, maybe you blunder and draw, like fine, but to lose up a piece on move 6, 26, like a guy who's like 2637, I mean, come on, let's be real. Thank you so much to SL Screws for the gift of something, and AJK Arnap for the 2, Counter for the Prime, Zero Stinky Soup for the Prime, and Infinite Velocity for the Prime. Appreciate it. Thank you. So, okay, so we have just these 2 games going. We'll probably do our speed run pretty soon, or some blitz, but we'll see. We'll see what we do. Okay, so obviously you go knight c4 to hit the bishop and pawn. Bishop c5, bishop d5, knight g5, king d7. Should just be a draw very, very soon in the camera game. Show you the game. Well, okay, I can pull. Okay, I closed the tab, but I'll show you. I'll show you again how you win the game. It's very straightforward. Okay, I'll show you how you win the game. The way you win the game is here. White is up a piece, right? Oh, by the way, one other point that I want to make as well is another reason that chess these days is not as fun as it used to be, is so much of what modern day chess is pure preparation. So what happened is apparently Amin, he confused the position here with apparently he confused, I think, the position, like he confused this position with this position. Apparently, like he just confused it, and there was a game between Magnus Carlsen and I believe Ding Liren with like queen e2, bishop e7. So he simply confused the position, which is why modern day chess obviously is so difficult, because you're spending so much time memorizing lines and like transpositions that you're not sometimes using your brain at the start. And that's exactly what happened to me. Just confuses the position, and it's just dead loss. Of course, here bishop d3 is a horrible move. If you just trade and go knight c3 here after castles, bishop d2, you castle and end the game. And if black plays like g6 here, you just go queen f3, bishop h4, and I believe you go, is it g3, or I think it's g3 here, takes, check, and then just bishop e2, bishop g4, and you have rook takes h4, and white is just simply winning. So it's just straightforward winning if you trade the knights, but he didn't trade the knights on d4, and he plays bishop d3. Again, 2637, doesn't know the theory, throws the whole thing away for absolutely no good reason whatsoever. So, all right, let's get back to the actual games that are going on right now, and we'll go from there. Hello from Slovenia, if you know where that is. Yes, Slovenia, of course, I have been there. I played the Bled Open in 2000 and I believe 1, if I remember correctly. So I have been there. Feeling better. I feel fine, like energy on fine. My nose is a little bit, my nose and my voice are a touch off, but it's not like I feel really sick. So thanks so much for 72 leads for the Prime. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. When am I moving to Austin, though? Why would I ever move to Austin? If I want to go somewhere that's overpriced, I would just go to California. Why would I ever go to Austin? Yuck. Please. I mean, Austin about like 10, 15 years ago was a great place. Modern day Austin, let's just leave it at that. It's not what it once was. Thanks so much to Habashi for the 10 months. I need a fake Hasko for the tier 1. Appreciate it. So, yeah. I mean, Austin is just completely overpriced. I mean, if I was going to go somewhere, I'd go to Dallas, like Frisco area or something. Like, I mean, Austin, please give me a break. Have I ever considered moving to New York City? I kind of grew up just outside of New York City, so I kind of know a lot. I kind of spent a lot of time in New York City. Okay, so just the 2 games, we'll leave it here. We'll cover Charlotte for a little bit after that, and then we will get back to our speed run, play some blitz, all the usual great content, and go from there. So okay, San Diego is the best overpriced place to live in the US. San Diego is amazing. I agree with that. I think there's an X Factor for the 11 and Bazcamp for the 100 bits. Appreciate it. So all right, what do we have here? Okay, so Arjun, so we're still waiting on a move. Prague's game, we're just kind of drifting all over the place. So yeah, Slovenia and Slovakia are not the same thing. I know, I've been to both countries. So let's take a look at their standings. What are the standings? Let's see. The standings, if we look here, are Fabuno on 2, Anish on 2, Ding on 2, Noterbeck on 2, Magnus on 2. So we have a 5-way tie. If Prague can win, he will make it 6-way tie, but I somehow don't think Prague is going to win this game if I just pull it up. But let's see. So, oh, Fabuno, that's a new one. Actually, no, that's not a new one, you guys. That's a good story. That's sort of there's a story to that. So when I played this tournament, it was the Sinkfield Cup in like I'm going to say it was 2016 or 17. I don't remember when it was. But some years back, I played the tournament when they were doing the opening ceremony, like Americans, like these are Americans, these are not people from other places. At the opening ceremony, they basically called him Fabuno Karuna. So, I mean, that's where it comes from. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, these are Americans. This is in St. Louis. Fabiano's, lived there for some time, and they pronounce his name. Yeah, they called him Fabuno Karuna. So it was, yeah. It was definitely something else. Okay, so still waiting on a move here from Arjun. E6 might just draw because you instantly collect the pawn. So I think this is going to be a draw pretty soon. Probably just E6, and if King C7, Knight F5, this also feels fairly drawish. So yeah. Just 2 games. Let's take a look at the I'll pull up the B group. Let me just pull up the B group as well, just to see what's going on. They pronounced your name correctly. They did. Okay, so we have the B group. Let me pull up the B group because I haven't looked at the B group at all. Let me take a look at the results. What are the results? Okay, so in the B group, it's pretty similar. You've what? Donchenko, Amin, Sindarov, and Yilmaz on 2. Mishra is still playing on 1.5. Max Varnerdam also playing on 1.5. So let's see. What do we have? We just have 2 games. Let's see. So we have Aline Robers. By the way, some people have been talking about her, right? Didn't she beat like a 2600 yesterday? I think I think people were saying she'd be like a 2600 or something, and she like skipped over FM title. She's gonna be an IM. There's a link in Discord. Link to what? Yeah, okay. Oh, there's a link to that game. Okay, let me take a quick look at this game. So she apparently beat Aaron Lamy, who was a longtime trainer of Anish Giri. Let's see. So how good was this game? I just want to go through it. We get a classic Spanish. We get some kind of like version of the Breyer variation with bishop b7. Okay, nothing too crazy. A4 is a little bit sketch. A3, I don't know about if I like A3, but okay, it goes on. Okay. Ooh, Queen H1, nice move. Because now if you go F5, if you ever push to break and open up the lane, you're just going to get sauced on the H file. That's a very nice move. Queen H1 is a very nice technical move. Wow. Takes, check. Oh, wow. Lamy just gets completely sauced in this game. Jeez. Wow. Because white is 2 juicers and you can't stop them. So even though you get like a passed pawn, 2 pawns with the rook and the bishop is just GG's. Wow, that's actually brutal. That's brutal. That is actually like a brutal game. Impressive, very impressive game. I like it. So all right, let's get back to the two games and B as well. Did I see the video where Nepo got aggressive with Hare Krishna? I did see it. I thought that was absurd. I'm gonna be honest. Like, you know, everybody's had their moments over time where you get angry about like some game. Like Nepo was obviously very angry in that game because he was winning and he didn't win the game, and then it's like he basically like said Hare did something, which Hare of course did nothing of the sort. But at the end of the day, yeah, Nepo was very frustrated. I mean, it was probably over the line against somebody like Hare, who's like one of the nicest guys out there. Like, I can give you an example. Like when I played Hare in the last round of the Blitz, like I could have been like really mad too. I could have been like, oh man, I drew this game, I should have been winning, it would have given me clear second place. Like I could have been very angry about that. But even if you're very angry about the result, or like you feel like you should have won, that doesn't really justify being like getting really salty. Like don't, he said like don't put a piece in the square like 5 times or whatever nonsense it was. Thank you so much to TKSMC for the prime. Big dogs for the prime. Kai wrongfully banned with the prime. Thank you so much to Cedric for the prime. D4 STX with the 3. Thank you XFoo for the 22 and Wonderlust for the 4. Thank you so much. Kai wrongfully banned. I watched some doc on Netflix about Kai yesterday actually, so I don't know if that's the Kai you're referring to. Anyway, okay, so let's cover A and B for a little bit. We'll cover the other events soon. Thank you, Senyai Gmail, for the 21 months. Appreciate it. And go from there. What do we have? Okay, Arjun's game. I mean, all this stuff looks pretty dry. Pretty dry. I am a new subscriber. How to later YouTube videos from Twitch streams? It just depends. Like there might be something I do today that will go up tomorrow. It all depends. Will we on YouTube see some New Orleans shows? Well, I don't know how much I actually want to say about that, but we're working on concepts, trying to do some stuff that might get picked up and turned into like TV shows and things of that nature. So that's all that I really want to say at the moment. I don't want to say too much more about stuff, but along those lines, let's leave it at that. So when people wonder why I've been streaming a little bit less, it's because there are a lot of different projects, things going on that I'm working on pretty regularly. So yeah. Are you feeling better today? You're under the weather? I feel completely fine. My voice is a little bit off, but like last week when my voice was off, like there was actually like I felt like my throat, like I needed to try to clear my throat every 2 seconds. And like it was like I would go like stuff like that, but it's like I felt a little bit of throat pain, but now I don't feel any of that, or like soreness. I don't feel any of it. So overall I'm good. It's just my voice is a touch off. So yeah. Anyway. Hikaru show on NBC primetime? Maybe, you never know, you guys. You never know. Nothing major. I won't say too much as work on a potential TV show. Well, you do stuff. You try to do some pilot episodes for various things. Thank you so much for bonding stuff for the 25 months, and you go from there, and that's all there is to it. So again, you guys, without saying too much, I'm saying a bunch. So okay. In the meantime, let's see. What's knight f5, bishop f6. If e7, king d7, black might be winning, so you don't really want to go e7. Somehow here, oh come on, what is this? Come on, chess.com. Are they still getting overloaded? Is that the site being overloaded for? I think Lilac Whimsical for the 12. Like, are they still getting overloaded? Like, it's been a week, right? Like, I went away for like 4 or 5 days. Like, come on, chess.com, just spend the big bucks, upgrade your servers. So to be fair, I wouldn't blame them. You know I wouldn't blame them. I don't blame them because honestly, in what world would you ever expect chess to have like more than 100 million members, 100 million people? Like, in what world would that ever make sense? Like, you would never expect it. Like, I mean, it's insane to think about. They have 100 million members on the site. It's just insane. Thank you to Emram for the 7, Lombrecadev for the 3 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So, all right. Yeah, so we just have these we just have Arjun's game. What else do we have? I think Arjun's game is the only one, right? 1 2 3. All the other games look like they've been drawn or not. Kamer. Wait, this is the wrong one. I don't see Kamer's game for some reason, but okay, whatever. Thanks so much to Don James for the 19 months. Appreciate it. Thanks so much to Don James. So, all right. 10 million of those accounts are burners funny. Thank you so much, Christmas, for the 500 bits. Good one. Okay. Canty Drew. Okay, so let's go back to Canty. Jimmy. Jimmy is losing hard. If you take the, oh come on, let's come on. If you take, there's Queen D8, Rook D8, Rook D8, and then Rook takes C8. If you take with the pony, you lose the queen. If you take with the queen, you're just lacking. You're missing one priest. So, oh, Canty's just losing badly here. Jeez, rough. Very rough too, because Canty's playing against a 1794. So if Canty loses, he loses like at least like 10 rating points at least. I think there's a Will C for the 20 months. I think a Ja Real for the 19 months. I think so much a Ja Real. So pretty rough. Pretty rough. Rough stuff here. So, okay, what else do we have? Origin's game still going on. Let me refresh the page. And Kamer is still going on. Again, should be a draw, I assume, at some point, but there are chances. Thank you so much to Dennis Fit for the 12 months. Thank you so much. Did I see Geary versus Gukesh? I did great prep from Anish and just sound victory. Impressive. Thank you so much to Tekio Vu for the 20 months. Thank you so much to Tekio Vu. Appreciate it. Thank you. So, all right. My mustache? Okay. So King D5, A5, Knight C6. This feels very drawish, although you do have Bishop B4 to hold on to the pawn. Do you think age slows down your ability to compete in chess? At a certain point, yes, but up to a certain age has zero impact, which is why chess is a great game. Although I will say the one thing that I really hate about getting older and playing chess is there are all these kids, these annoying pesky kids who, like, when you play them, like, it's very annoying. It's very annoying to play against these little kids. Like when you see these 11, 12-year-old kids who are like IM level or better, it's just very frustrating as you get older having to play against them. So, okay, this game's still going. Let's go back to the other one. This is the B group. Mishra, by the way, is somebody whose games I've not covered at all. Mishra is just losing here. Black has 2 pawns. This will be GG. I think there's Yo Ashura for the 5 months. This is just over. I mean, like Rook E4, D2, C3, E6, King F8. Very straightforward. So, I assume Mishra will resign soon. What was this game? Some QGD, it looks like. It was a Slav kind of turned into QGD structure. It looks like Mishra just got soundly outplayed in this game, from what I can tell. Although here, maybe White's actually okay again. Maybe you can just like be a stalling hand. You go like King G2, King G1, and stall it out. Although there is Knight D8, E6, I guess. But this happens. Oh, Knight C5 is an amazing move because you get a great bastion with the pawn, and if White takes, now everything is super soft here in the pawns. Oh, Knight C5 is a beautiful move. Takes D4, strong move here. F7. Wow, this is what we call an impressive game from Ivic, the Serbian player. I think there's a Posybot TV for the 20. That guy named the Tate for the prime, and Dizio back for the prime as well. Appreciate it. So, looking pretty rough. Pretty rough. Poor Mishra. Gonna lose here. Wasn't I one of those kids? Well, yeah, the Secret of Ninja, of course. Like, that's the irony, is like, I hate playing against kids now, but I was one of those kids back in the day. I mean, C3 wins, D2 wins, all pawn pushes should just lead to Rome here for black. I think they're Jayhawk Jack for the 18 months. Thanks so much, Jayhawk Jack. So, yes, of course, I was one of those kids too. Like, it was fun when I was a kid. Now it's not so much fun. Thanks so much to Meebles for the prime. Thanks so much to Meebles. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I think there's a David DM5 for the 8 months. I think it was Skylab for the 3. Didn't Mishra get his norms in Hungary? He might have, regardless. Like, I mean, if you're trying to suggest something, just don't. What do we have? Okay, the other game should be an equal, should be balanced. I don't know who's better here because the pawns on b5 and a4 are weak. Bishop could be better than the knight, but if you get the knight to f5, there are also checkmate ideas, so hard to judge. I think there was a Sergeant Zammy for the prime. Strange, I got my norms in Hungary too. Very funny, you guys. Very funny. Will a recession affect chess? I actually think that chess generally has been recession proof, at least on the teaching side. Like when I think about tournaments and teaching, chess was recession proof when there was the whole collapse in 2008. Like people still had plenty of chess lessons. There were still all the still top level tournaments going on. So I think chess is recession proof, but again, don't quote me on that. But in the past, it has done quite well. I think there's a Bez RL for the prime, so thank you so much to Bez RL. But again, you never know, but I do feel like chess traditionally has been recession proof. So let's see, c3 should be played soon. Let's see, Arjun's game again, king b6, knight d6, very easy draw here. If king d8, I assume there's some knight d4, knight c6, maybe knight c3, knight a4 as well. Should be a draw though. Also, because I just realized if you get some position like this with bishop e1, white can always just go g4, and it's still, you can't really win because now the thing here is that if you could magically eat the juicer and put the bishop here, you can try to create a passed pawn. But if we get this position where you end up with the two pawns, even though you have an extra pawn, you can't do anything. They're just stacked on top of each other. So it should be a pretty straightforward draw. I think it's such Emo Swindle, I guess, for the prime. Thank you so much. Okay, so whoops. Okay, what do we have? Canty in trouble here. Still his chances to maybe survive, but rook d6 looks very problematic. Rook c5 also probably problematic. Very hard to play. Thank you so much to Rs11L for the 20 months, but Canty could get lucky. He could get a swindle here. There are chances. What's my schedule? We're probably covering Charlotte. We're going to cover the end of Tata Steel. We'll do, I think, a little bit of speed run, maybe some blitz, play against some bots, the usual. So it's going to be a long stream though. It's not going to be like a 2-hour stream. For those of you guys who think like I'm tuning in for 2 hours, no, we're going to be streaming like 6-7 hours today, hopefully. So it's, you know, even though I'm streaming less in terms of total days, I'm making my streams much longer. Didn't there used to be a way to donate money? You can donate. That's how you do it. It's the same way as always via Streamlabs. Reddit React we'll do tomorrow. We'll do Reddit React tomorrow, I think. So, all right, so we're just chilling here. I will just hang with it because we're already relatively close to the end. Like, I don't think these games are going to go on forever. So we will hang on with the games till the end. Let's see, are there any other streamers playing? Oh, Brandon is playing. Brandon is playing against WGM. Brando is better. What's he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even material, double op combo, slightly weak king. White should be better. Is it much better? I don't know. I think it's Lupus for the 15 months. Thank you so much. Or Lupus, I should say. Let's see. What other streamers are playing? We have... okay, Dina took care of business. She beat it 1900. So she did what Candy is not doing at the moment, although he could still win. So let's see. Who else is there? There should be some other streamers. Or maybe not. I don't see any other streamers. So... yeah, thank you so much, Davenport, for the prime. I don't know how Dina's doing overall. She beat it 1900. So... okay, c3 played by Evich. Mishra will probably resign here pretty soon, I would guess. I'm not sure when, but he will. Dina also lost versus a low-rated player. Well, chess is tough. What do you want me to say? Chess is a very tough game, you guys. I know I make it look easy, but it's a very tough game. Why aren't many top players playing Tata Steel in spite of it being a big tournament? There are a few reasons. First of all, it's a very, very long tournament. It's 13 rounds. It is as long as a candidates tournament. And I will tell you, having played the candidates tournament, it's rough. It's rough. Let's leave it at that. So longest tournament by far. The weather generally is pretty mediocre. It's the weather's not great there. It's gloomy. It's overcast. You're on the North Sea during the off season, because of course during the regular season, when everything is, you know, popping, it's of course very expensive and very busy. So it's 13 rounds, weather's not great, it's you know, the environment is difficult. On the plus side, it's a very prestigious tournament. It's happened many years. The food is great. I've been there many times. I can tell you that the Italian restaurant, top notch. The pizza was good. The pasta was always amazing. There's also the Swiss restaurant that I went to many times. Got the mixed grill, incredible food. The satay, always very nice as well, from Klein Switzerland restaurant in Tata still. So the food is great. The environment with like people being around is great, but it is a very long term. If you're not really in the mood for it, it can be difficult. Arjun blundered. Wait, someone said Arjun blundered. He blundered. Wait, what? He blundered. What was the blunder? Right, but why is this losing? Because like I said, you go G4 and black. I don't see how black wins with the stack, because you're getting 2 stacked pawns. And you can't create a pass pawn because the pawns are in the way of each other. I think it's still a draw. So at any rate, like I said, like with Tata Steel, the weather's not good. It's a very long term. If you don't get off to a good start, it can feel like the worst 3 weeks of your life. So for someone like Gukesh, for example, losing the first 2 games, he needs to stabilize now. Just get a couple of draws under his belt and then try to play his way into the tournament. Because otherwise, it's very easy to become like very unhappy. It's a little bit depressed with the weather and everything else. So that's why it's a tough turn to play. Additionally, obviously, because Chorus, which was the very famous Dutch steel company, they got bought out by Tata Steel, so now they're mixing the fields much more than they ever used to. Jordan is having a tough time. I don't know why Jordan's doing badly. Jordan has just been very flat. Both games with white, he struggled, missed a 1 mover against Wesley, was able to hang on and draw. Against Rapport, got nothing, a little bit worse, made a draw. Today, I mean, I thought his opening was fine, but then he just hangs a pawn for no reason. Like, for someone of Jordan's caliber to just blunder knight takes G4 and queen G6, I mean, Jordan is a player who should be like 27-10, 27-20. So I don't know what's going on with him, but I feel like actually he's been the worst player so far, even if the result doesn't reflect it. I mean, 2 very mediocre games with white, just misses a very basic tactic today with black. I don't know, something's just off. I don't know what's up with Jordan, but he's not playing very well. So it's anyone's guess why. I think it's Rossi for the tier 1. I think G4 is actually almost forced, because if black can somehow get the king running here to run up the board, this might be winning for black, maybe. Although there's still G forks of knight C5, cutting off the bishop. So we'll see. Did I play Jude at Brennan's in New Orleans? No, but we did go upstairs to Brennan's, the restaurant in New Orleans, where they have like the Paul Morphy, like sort of like they have a board there. They have some art and other stuff. So I did go upstairs to Brennan's, but I mean, Jude and I did not play like a true game. But I did play other people at Cafe on V, which was nearby in the French Quarter. So again, there was chess stuff going on. So 2 best players in classical are Magnus and Caruana. Right now, I think Ding is probably the 2nd best player in the world, rating wise, performance wise, how he's doing so far. I would have to say that I think he's the #2 player in the world right now. Okay, Mishra loses, so this game's over. What else do we have? The other game is still going. So yeah, Ding is probably the 2nd best player right now. I don't really know if that's up for debate. I don't think it's up for debate. You're #2. Come on, be serious, you guys. I'm a streamer. Stop acting like I'm some kind of good chess player. I just stream. So okay, knight b6 played. King f6 is coming in here. Like I said, this is getting a little bit scary now. Like maybe you have check and knight c5. So the king has to go back. I mean, maybe it's still okay. I saw the bar jump there. I don't know why, but I think someone should choose shadow for the prime. I think they should choose shadow. Appreciate it. So let's see. Funny computer says king f6 is winning on first glance, but problem is you always can cut off the bishops, so it's still within the realm where it should be okay, but hard to judge. Hard to judge. So at any rate, Ding seems like such a nice guy, but there must be a shark underneath. I mean, I think Ding is a very nice guy, but again, at the end of the day, underneath the facade, he obviously is very competitive. Thanks so much to Scott Krepich for the 34 months. Appreciate it. Thanks so much to Scott Krepich. Thanks so much to SL Cruz for the 100 bits. Let's see that. What happened? Okay, Candy got a little bit lucky. Wait, Candy's opponent did blunder, but it's still kind of ugly here after queen h6 and knight d5. Still quite ugly, actually. Thank you so much. It's Rosik for the gifted sub. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Still pretty ugly, though. So what else do we have? King f6. So I assume Arjun will check, of course. Only move because otherwise the king runs and you just lose the game. Knight d7, pretty much an only move here. King a7, knight b6, and then Lev has to reset and figure something else out. Prague's game still going again. Both players using their time, so we'll see what happens. Happy MLK Day, Hikaru. Thank you so much to Big Cat Belly. Yes, it is MLK Day today, of course. We honor one of the great civil rights leader of our time, Martin Luther King. So big shout out to all those people, all the people who were part of the whole civil rights struggle in the 1960s. Okay, so what else do we have? And so much trance. So again, very few games left in Tata still. Well, I guess Kante's still playing. Brandon Jacobson is still playing. So probably I'll cover the rest of Tata, and then we'll probably move on to our scheduled content. Thank you so much to Joe Malherby for the Prime. Thank you to Lore 3XC for the Prime. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. So this is looking, yeah, this is looking very blah. So we'll see. So once again, if you guys do, I saw an IG post by FIDE they'll announce by Friday. I mean, like I said, based on something that I heard today, I think I'm gonna take a guess that I think it's going to be held in Argentina. Just a guess, you guys, but I think the World Championship will be held in Argentina. So we'll see if I'm right or not, but that's my general read. Thanks so much to Sam99 Casa for the Prime. Thanks so much to Sam99 Casa. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah. Have I ever been to Argentina? Yes, you guys. I bought my first suit in Argentina. I played the Continental Chess Championship of the Americas. I believe it was in 2003. I played there and I finished, I think, in the top 8, if I'm not mistaken. I think I finished in the top 8, and I qualified to play the FIDE World Cup, which was held in 2004, and of course Tripoli, the capital of Libya. So I happened to Argentina. During that trip, I went to a mall. I bought a really nice suit. I don't know if I actually ate any good steak when I was in Argentina, but it was a great trip. I loved it. I loved it. It was great fun. So yeah. But we'll see. I'm just taking a guess there based on something I heard this morning. So, all right. How many states have you been to? I think I've been to 48. I've never been to, thanks Sebastian, I've never been to Alaska, and I think there's one other one that I'm forgetting way up north that I haven't been to either, but I've been through pretty much, I've been through like all the states in the United States of America. Your streams are too good, Mr. Streamer. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm glad you guys enjoy it, because obviously, I mean, what else could I do in life? Like, playing chess doesn't pay the bills, as we know, so at least I can stream for a living. All right, so Arjun has not played 97, so we'll leave it here. Thanks so much to a piano guy for the 3. Thank you so much to Pablo Noseki or Nosek for the Prime. Thank you so much. Let's leave it here. Let's see if Arjun surely will find 97. It's the only move. Argentina must be because of Nepo's K Miras Bobo t-shirt. I don't know. Actually, imagine that he plays the World Championship in Argentina, and FIDE's like, no, you can't wear that shirt. It's against our dress code. You can't wear that shirt. I feel like if FIDE tried to do that in Argentina, there would probably be some issues. Thank you so much, Thomas Carbone, for the Prime. Thank you so much to X Gutman XX for the 6 months. Hikaru, would you come? It's funny because somebody I know is actually getting married, I think today in Israel, and I unfortunately was not able to attend. So I think that answers your question. Maybe not today, but they're getting married soon in Israel, somebody that I know. So at any rate, let's move along. Prague versus Vincent still going on, nothing new happening. We'll just leave it here. And Mishra lost. I don't know what's this game. Maybe there's like a disconnection or something, or White's thinking forever. Brandon's game is still going, so game should finish within 30 minutes. We'll probably get going pretty soon. Chess doesn't pay the bills. You won like $500,000 last year prize money alone. You must have some huge bills. Well, you guys, okay, let me pull up that I think I'll pull that up in a second. Thanks so much to IA Anu for the 60 months. Thank you to so much to Paul for the 31 months. Yeah, I will pull up that article and cover that. Actually, I think I'll go use the restroom very quickly again because I've been drinking lots of coffee, lots of tea, and lots of water. So I'm gonna go use the restroom very quickly, and then we will cover this article. So give me 1 second. All right, you guys, so we're back. Okay, so yeah, let me change the scene, stop the music. We'll cover this article very briefly. It's not a long article, but we will cover it since people are talking about it, because I think there are a lot of things that people are missing in this article that are worth noting. So let me adjust this just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Here we go. Okay, so let's cover this article very briefly, you guys. Okay, so we have an article which is called The Biggest Chess Prize Winners in 2022 and How Much They Made. Today we bring you the players who won the most prize money in the major international chess events of 2022. Back in August, we revealed which chess players had won the most prize money throughout history for their performance in major matches and tournaments. As was the case then, here we are covering only performance prizes. This means no money earned from endorsements, appearance fees, residencies, etc. With that in mind, who do you think won the most prize money in major tournaments this year? GM Jan Nepomniachtchi, winner of the FIDE Canada's tournament. Maybe GMHikaru, the Fischer Random World Champion and winner of the FIDE Grand Prix and Speed Chess Championship. Or perhaps it was Singfield Cup and Grand Chess Tour champion GM Alireza Firouzja. Maybe GM Wesley So, the Chess.com Global Chess Champion and second place finisher in the Grand Chess Tour. All right, so there's a picture of Jan and I. Here we go. Let's click on. Let's keep going. The answer, of course, is GM Magnus Carlsen. Even with his last World Championship coming back in 2021, the winner of the Champions Chess Tour, Norway Chess, and both the World Rapid and Blitz Championship earned nearly $560,000 in major tournament prizes throughout 2022. It was the clean sweep of the World Rapid Blitz Championship in late December that catapulted Carlsen into first place for the year. In doing so, he passed Wesley So at the last moment. So did not participate in the World Rapid and Blitz Championship and could only watch as Carlsen earned $120K in a week to take the top spot. That's $6.24 million if you could do it every week for a year. So brought in just over $540,000 worth of prize money in 2022, which probably means he doesn't mind too much coming in second. Very nice. Nakamura was the third player to cross the $500,000 threshold, ending the year with about $515,000 after tying for second at the World Blitz Championship. Nepomniachtchi $430,000 and Firouzja $360,000 rounded out the top five. Okay, now the funny thing about this, you guys, is that if they included Titled Tuesdays, I'm pretty sure that I would be ahead of Wesley So, because if I had to guess, I'm betting that I won more than 25 Titled Tuesdays in 2022. I'm pretty sure that I won more than 25 with 2 a day or 2 a week. That's like 100 Titled Tuesdays. I'm betting I won more than 25. So actually, if you add Entitled Tuesday, I would be number 2. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm betting that I won more than 25. At any rate, we have the 100,000 club. Here's every player who earned 6 figures in major tournament prizes throughout 2022 from the Grand Prix that started in February through the World Rapid and Blitz Championships at the end of December. Now, this is the thing that I think a lot of people do not understand when they look at the look at this list which is that when you look at this prize money is great. Make no mistake. If you make $200,000 a year, this is what 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So number 11 is Shakra Mamedyarov, who made $201,000. Now obviously that's a great amount of money to make. That is a huge amount of money to ever make in a year playing chess. What people fail to understand about this is that if you do not maintain your ranking, if you have a bad streak of 3 to 6 months, you will not get any invitations to the right events, and your income will plummet. So for example, if you look at Shakra, if he's not playing the Grand Chess Tour right here, this income could easily be halved, if not more, in a year. So this is why when people look at this income, they're like, oh man, you guys are rolling it in, it's amazing, it's great. But if you do not perform every single year, if you have 1 bad year, 2 bad years, this income will be halved, at least for anybody on this list. So if you're making like 134,000 like Luquang Lam, for example, and you basically you fall off or something, this income goes down from like 134 to like 60, and this is pre-tax obviously as well. So again, it's not as incredible as people think it is. Secondly, when you look at the top, you look at Magnus with $558,000. He is a world champion, his best player in the world, and he only made $558,000. He's better than 8 billion people on this planet, and that's what he made. Now, separately, should sponsor deals should say one thing that I did see, and somebody in chat can find the tweet for me, but there was a tweet which said that there was a tweet from I think Tarjay Svensson which said that Magnus made 1.7 million dollars, I believe, in 2022, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can find the tweet quickly. Let me see if I can find it. But there was a tweet from Tarjay somewhere. I don't see it right off. Where I think Tarjay said that like Magnus made 1.7 million. I think so much a rug for the 7 months. So again, that was just something I saw. Who knows if that's the reality or isn't or whatnot. But I did see something on that front. So at any rate, it is what it is. Again, I will also add just one last little bit, and this is not taking shots, even if people perceive it as a shot, but to give you an idea of just how insane content creation is versus playing chess. Levy, for example, on YouTube made more money in 1 month, the month of December, than everybody except the top 4 players made in the entire year of 2022, which is why when people ask me about content creation, things of this nature, it's very important to note that this is why, like, I'm a streamer first, because at the end of the day, content creation is much bigger. So, all right, at any rate, let's get back to the chess now, and we'll put the music back on. Yes, you guys, as everybody knows, YouTube in November and December is bananas. The CPM is through the roof because of advertising. Let's change the scene here. Let's go back. Where were we? There we were. So yeah. So okay, Magnus had 17.9 million Norwegian krones in taxable income in 2021, which is $1.7 million according to the Norwegian government. Okay, yeah. So at any rate, in 1 month you say yes, Alex Wolf, but again, let's not go there. Okay, just chill. So we get G4, so takes knight d7, king e7, knight b6, and this is the big question: is this actually winning for black? Now, one thing that I realized about this endgame is I think this is a draw. Maybe it depends on how you set up, but I think if I get my king here, this is a draw, right? Or not? Is this? I'm pretty sure this is a draw. Am I crazy? How do you win this? Oh, you can just go g6. Never mind. I'm insane. Oh, it's only if the pawn's on g3. Sorry, if the pawn's on g3, this is a draw. Sorry, this is a draw, right? Yeah, this is a draw. Sorry, it's only if the pawn is on g3. If the pawn's not on g3, then it's just winning. So never mind. So okay, so take so takes knight d7, king e7, and let's see what happens. I think this is a Desantin for the prime. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah. Let's see what level do here. I assume you have to take h4. Just doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't see how you're doing anything here. So he will have to take the pawn, and then knight d7, king e7, knight b6, bishop e1, probably check knight b6. Like, I don't know how you win here because it's the same problem where I have multiple squares. So I think this is probably a draw. Switch to Microsoft Edge, you guys. I will not be using Microsoft Edge anytime soon. I mean, what is it, like 1999 using like Internet Explorer or something, or even Netscape for that matter? I mean, come on, let's be serious. Let's be serious. Arjun's body language isn't good. Aha, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, who uses Edge? I mean, I'll give Microsoft credit. Like, Word is still good, and of course, Excel is the golden standard. But like, let's be serious. Like, I mean, IE was good in like 2000, 2001, but it has not been good for a long time. Microsoft buying Chat GPT and everyone will jump back to Edge. That's actually a possibility. I don't know how Chat GPT is valued at 29 billion though. I'm sorry, but like, in no world is it worth that. So, all right, so this is a let me go back to the B group. Let's see, we have move here, not very exciting. Canty is, what is going on with Canty? Canty is in a lot of trouble still in his game. Do I like Slack or Teams? I mean, of course Slack is much better than Microsoft Teams. I'm always confused when I run into people who use like Microsoft Teams or they use WebEx from Cisco. Like, I mean, like, let's be real, like who uses Cisco products in 2022? Like, Cisco is so 1999 also. Okay, so let's just leave it on the A group because this is of course the only game which is really interesting, and I assume it's going to end pretty soon. I also am very familiar with Microsoft Teams, you guys, because for the Meltwater events that were held in 2020 and 2021, which I competed in, Chess 24 was using Microsoft Teams for that, so that's why I'm so familiar with it. Thanks so much for Revoltaire for the 6 months, appreciate it. So thank you. So what do we have? Prague versus Kamer, still exact same position as before, nothing happening. Oh, computer says h4 is winning. What? How is this winning? What is winning after h4? This is winning? Seriously? How is this winning? Thanks so much to Christmas P for the 30 and Johnny Duffin. Thank you so much. I don't know, you guys. I don't see it. You have to take, and then again, how do you win? Because if your king can't ever get going, I mean, you can't create a pass pawn. Your pawns are on top of each other. I mean, I think this is a draw. I think this is a draw. What about Microsoft's attempted purchase of Activision Blizzard? Well, I mean, if you believe that deal is going to go through between Activision and Microsoft, I mean, I would be buying shares of Activision hand over fist because they're trading at what is ATV? They're trading at a huge discount still. 76.66 versus 96 buyout. I mean, that's 20 bucks. Like, that is a massive premium. Massive premium. That's what? That's like 25% maybe, give or take. Someone said King G5 is winning. It's not. King G5 is not winning here because you take. And if takes King G5, I go Knight C5, I cut you off at the pass, and you have to go back, and again, you don't have a choice. You're going to have to stay close, and this still is probably a draw. No, it's still probably a draw. Like I said, there's Knight C5. And I'm threatening E7. If you take, this is losing, of course, because I just queen. And if you play if you play go back, I just check you. It's the same problem no matter what you do. So I don't understand why. Oh, King G6 is apparently Zugzwang. Why is it Zugzwang? What's your next move? I mean, you don't have moves here. Like, if you go Bishop E1, King D6, you got to be careful to not lose. Oh, after Knight C. Wait, you're saying after Knight C. Oh, come on, chess.com. What is this? Like, seriously. So check. You're saying this is Zugzwang? How is this Zugzwang? Or even Knight A4. How's this Zugzwang? Here. It's the same thing, no? Unless there's some kind of weird way you can get the king in, maybe. Again, I'll believe it when I can see it. Thanks so much to Chess Cuckoo for the 24 months. So it's saying King G5 and King G6. This is the winning way. Hard to find, but not impossible. Thanks so much to Haganiko for the 33 months. Thanks so much to Haganiko. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. But yeah, as I was saying, if you believe Activision is going to get bought out by Microsoft, it's going to go through the FTC and everything else. Or is that FCC? I don't know which one it is. But if you believe it, then I mean, it's huge discount. So At any rate, okay, so king g5 is apparently the winning move. I mean, the thing is, I don't understand. Why is this winning here? This is, I mean, it's so hard to understand how this is winning. Why do I hate the London system so much? Oh, I don't hate it. I just think it's sort of the epitome of everything that chess is not supposed to be. Like, people think you can game the system, play like a set system, and that's good enough. Like, yes, it's to some degree that is, but that's not the essence of what chess is. Why no Tata for Naka? You make it sound like a 5-day 9-to-5 job. I mean, streaming is much easier than playing chess, playing Tata specifically. I'll be honest, it is. Because I'll tell you what happens with streaming. So I'm going to stream from like 12 o'clock to 7, roughly, give or take. I'm going to stream 12 to 7. I'll probably go order some food, eat some dinner, probably watch something on Netflix like The Travelers for an hour or two, maybe read for an hour or two, because I just started reading the Harry Markarpoulos, however you pronounce it, his book on the Bernie Madoff stuff, because I watched it on Netflix recently. So I'll probably read that for an hour. I'll go to bed, sleep like 11, 12-ish, like 6, 7, maybe a little bit later. And then I'll get up, I'll do a little bit of preparation for the stream, see what the content is, and then I'll stream. In Tata, however, it'd be much different. It would be you're basically, let's just assume I'm in Arjun situation here, or Levant. Okay, so I'm playing this very long game. It's currently 8 p.m. So it's about 8 p.m. Game is probably going to end, let's just say in half an hour. It's going to be 8:30 p.m., 9 p.m., whatever it is. Gotta rush, get over to, Tarantella or Swiss Kleinzerland, or Swiss Kleinzerish, whatever it's called. Gotta rush over to eat dinner, try to be done with dinner by like 10:30, 11-ish. And then of course you got to go back to your room, probably talk to your trainers, your seconds, study for a couple of hours, go to bed at like 2 a.m., probably wake up at like 11 a.m., and then you start over again, have to study for like 3-4 hours before the game, walk over, play the game, do this on repeat for the next 3 weeks. Does that sound like fun, you guys? I don't think it sounds like fun. It's much better talking to, normal people, having a great time, enjoying yourself. So what can I say? All right. At any rate, thank you so much to Vexidus for the Prime. Thank you, Flurry, for the Prime, Dragonite for the 11, and Punter for the 46 months. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm very normal, of course. Oh, by the way, when I say trainers, I mean the people that you work with. We call them seconds. But trainers is like, seconds is more like, it's like, seconds is like one of those chess words from like the antiquity. Like when I hear someone say second, I think of somebody going into a duel and it's like, I'm going to be your second for when you get in like the gunfight or the sword fight or sword duel or whatever it is. So like people say trainers just to keep it more modern age so people understand what we're saying. But normally in chess terms, you would say second. It's just when you say second, it sounds like the 1700s and you're ready to go and duel somebody to the death. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so no moves in Kamer's game. I don't know what everybody's doing. Of course, King E7 was played by Levon. I'm not very surprised by that. But the thing is, what do you do here? Because if you do go G3 here, like I said, this is a known draw. Like this is a known draw. This is a drawn position here. Because you can basically run the king back. And even though you have extra pieces here, this is a theoretical draw. This is a position that, of course, Samuel Shanklin resigned against Anish Giri when it was a draw. So people have made that mistake, but this is a draw. So you can't push the pawn at G3. If Lev doesn't find this whole weird Zugzwang maneuver with the king, I think this is just going to be a draw. Because Bishop E1 allows Knight C8, for example. And again, what are you doing? So if Lev doesn't find it right here, he's not going to find it, is what I would say. Was chess ever used to decide the winner of a war? No, it was not. So, okay, Bishop E1 played, like I said, this is what I expected to happen. And again, the problem is here, like, now I think King E5, this is close to a draw. Yeah, this is close to a draw at some point. I'm just not feeling it here. I think this will be a draw. I think there's a major taunt for the tier 1. Appreciate it. How long will you be entertaining us today? Well, I will be entertaining you guys for at least a few more hours. Of course, right now it's pretty slow. We're just covering Tata Steel and just chilling. But I will do speedrun. I will play Blitz. I think we're gonna play one of the bots a little bit later on as well. So we'll do some bot stuff as well. So it's gonna be a good stream. Again, I'm streaming a few less days this week. I've started streaming a touch less, but I am making those streams long, sort of to compensate. Thanks so much to Yam for the 2. Thank you to Uzi Spencer for the 18. Appreciate it. Someone asked for Canty. Canty is losing badly, but we'll see. He's in trouble here. I mean, he's losing badly, but again, his opponent's only 1794, so anything can happen. Thanks so much to Don Alberto for the 29 months. Brutal. What's happening here? We have Brandon's game. Brandon should be winning. There should be some lolly checkmates here, like h6, queen h4, queen f6. So looking good for Brandon. So let's go back. Let's see. Why would we watch Canty? Because he is a prominent streamer. He's someone who's done a lot of commentary on my channel. He's just a very nice guy. So why not, you guys? That's like saying, why would you ever cover Levy's games? I mean, it's the exact same thing. Yeah, like seriously, chill. Hey, Hikaru, I don't know if you know this, but Ronaldo and Messi LV campaign had a chessboard they based on match you played. Any thoughts? My thoughts are very simple. One is Louis Vuitton gonna like finally sign Magus and I to be like the you know, ambassadors for the company. That's all that needs to be said. Let's see. Prague, no moves. I assume this game is just like, let me refresh to see if there are any moves, because yeah, I guess both players fell asleep. I mean, they are fairly young and it's past their bedtime, so I can kind of see them falling asleep. So let's go back to the other game. Canty is a great guy, not sure he'll be GM. No, I mean, I think the chances of Canty becoming a GM are probably like 5%, if that. Getting to IM is the big question. Can he get to IM? That's the big question. So, all right. Thanks so much to Jace King for the 5 months. Thanks so much to Jace King. Appreciate it. It takes too long for these games to end. I mean, join the club. That's why classical chess is dying. It's I mean, classical chess is just like dying. Canty has big motivation. Canty, it has nothing to do with the motivation at the age that Canty's at. What it has to do with is the fact that it has to do with the improvement factor. Past a certain age, you just don't have big jumps in improvement. That's just the reality. That's why when you look at these kids who are becoming strong GMs, they're always improving a lot between the ages of like 10 to, I'll say 10, 12, whatever it is, to like 17, 18. Like, you don't see somebody who's like 18 years old go from being like a 2500 GM to being 2700. Or, for example, somebody who's in their 50s going from like 2550 to close to 2700, as we saw in a certain very famous case. So, all right. Okay, Rover's game's still going. Looks balanced. Probably should be a draw. Oops. Okay. You see those jumps at 1800, 2100? Yes. From like, someone could be like 1500 and get to like 2200. Somebody could have that improvement in like their late 20s. But getting from like IM level or FM level to GM or even above that does not happen past a certain age. That's just how it goes. Yeah. It just doesn't happen. That's just the reality. I think Candy's trying to get to IM and then get to GM if he can, but I think it's difficult. Ever consider starting a podcast since you've gone to so many? I don't have a lot of spare time, you guys. Like, I am very busy, contrary to what I think people think. I think they think I just stream, then I go just like sit in a hot tub and smoke a cigar for the rest of the day, like a top G, but that's not what I do. So no, I don't have a lot of time, so I have to be very I have to pick and choose what I want to do. So okay, we're waiting for a move here. Canty is, like I said, in a lot of trouble here. Just a disaster. Come on. Okay, I think rook c6 or rook c4 both win here. Feingold was a 2500 IM. The people who talk about Feingold simply don't understand how good Benjamin was. Benjamin was like 2530 when he was like in his mid-20s. And then he just never got the title. He was GM strength for many, many years. He just did not get the title. That's the reality. So when people talk about Feingold, they assume like Feingold suddenly had some massive improvement. He did not have massive improvement. He was a very strong player. He should have been a GM. He just never got the title. But he was GM strength. So when people say that, they just misunderstand. He was like 2650 USCF rating, which is well over 2500 FIDE. So again, like, people say that, but they just don't realize how good he actually was. Like, he was really, really good. He was probably like close to top 10 in the US. I would, maybe not top 10, but top 15 when he was like in his 20s. So like, people don't realize that. They just think, oh, he just magically improved when he became 40 years old and got the title. He got the title because he focused on it, whereas he didn't focus on it before. So All right, so let's see. Canty's opponent a little bit low on time, so there's some hope. But like rook c6 and queen f6 looks crushing. Rook c4, rook e4 with the rook lift looks crushing. Everything is crushing here. Oh no. Is this a kid, by the way? Who is it? Is this a kid? Can somebody tell me? Luke Triplet chess. Let's see. Is this a kid? What's his birth year? Uh-oh, his birth year is 2002. So he's young, but he's not super young. He is 19 years old. But it's looking very, very bad. Yeah, I was waiting to see if it's like some 10-year-old kid who's just like crushing it. But yeah, he's playing good chess. Yeah, he's like 20 or 21. I saw 2002. So either way, he's not 12 years old. 2002 sounds like a 12-year-old. It's crazy for me because like I'm not ancient, but when I see these kids who are born after 2000, I'm like, wait a second, what even does that mean? How is that even possible? Canty's last defeat was to an 11-year-old. Oh dear. Yeah, he lost to an 11-year-old. Jeez, that is so painful. Jeez, so painful. Rook c6 played end. Ay. This is disaster. There's takes, there's rook e6, there's queen f6. Like literally any move wins. You can go to the bar and meet someone who was born in 2005. No, you can't. The legal age is 21 in the US, you guys. There's an 11-year-old who's better than the entirety of chat. Yes, that's not shocking. This game's not exciting. Let's see what happened here. Okay, so we got king e5, king d5. We have the same position, king e5. Oh, come on, Danny, fix the site, dude. What is this? Come on, like enough is enough. Like, come on. So king e5, bishop g3, king d5, and I think this game will be a draw pretty soon. Like bishop c7, knight a4. I think this is going to be a draw because the problem with this position for Levon is that every move for Arjun is basically automatic. He has to keep the king close. He has to keep the knight on one of like 3 squares. So I think this is going to be a draw. Analyze the Soupy match. Sure, Soupy played. Okay, let's see. Oh my gosh, Canty is just. Oh yeah. Candy is just getting absolutely crushed. Queen f6 is strong. This is just so brutal. I don't think Lev's going to win the game because I think the only way for Lev to win this is to put the bishop back on b4 and find this little zugzwang. I think that's the only winning plan here. And to me, he already had the chance to do it once. Resetting with the bishop on b4 and risking a repetition, it's not going to be in the mindset here because that's just not how he's going to approach the position. So I think this is going to be a draw. I think someone just set mobile for the 4 and censor ed for the prime. But let's see what Canty's doing because I think Canty's about to lose here after queen f6. Like check, can't move the king, you lose the rook. You can block, but after rook b6 there's d6, there's rook b8, there's queen h8, all kinds of bad stuff happening here. There's even a right triangle in all of this mess. So yeah, this is just over. Okay, blocks. Queen h8 is also just GG because rook c6. Yeah, check, and d6, and you're getting fossilized. You're also just getting checkmated. Disaster. Absolute disaster. Will he find queen h8? No, he takes b6. So Canty has a prayer for like another move. He can check and go queen e5, but even this is brutal. d6 and rook b8 is a really disgusting checkmate. This queen e1, queen e5 is the last hope. If the 1794 finds that d6 check, if he finds d6 with rook b8 check, that's just disgusting. Just a classic right triangle again. Thank you so much for Revenge X Beso for the 3. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's a problem with my browser. It's been happening nonstop. It's never happened before. It's never happened before, so I'm a little bit skeptical that's a problem with my browser. A little bit skeptical, you guys. It could be. I could be wrong. Suzanne says it happened all weekend. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's never happened before and suddenly it starts happening all the time. Like, I've never had it happen until now. So yeah. Imagine paying chess.com subscription, the site's not working. My guess as far as chess.com goes is probably quite straightforward. Okay, you're saying it's a cache problem. Okay, fine. I'll go to my history. Let's see. I'll do it here on my other go to history. Clear browsing data, right? I'll clear for the last like 24 hours. Okay, I just cleared the history. So okay, if we have it happen again, then that's yeah, impossible. But let's see. I cleared the data. Means there's a lava cough for the 2 thing, a Drino roll for the prime. I once lost to a 12-year-old girl that did like 1 year studying chess. Haha, I was 26 at the moment. I feel like trash, but hey, it's okay if they're born with a machine in the brain. Yeah, I mean, of course, like I will say that is probably, I'm gonna be honest, that is one of my greatest fears in chess. Like I don't have general fears, but like that is one of my great fears in chess, is that one of these days I'm gonna play like the World Rapid and Blitz, and I'm gonna play some like let's just say 10 to 12-year-old kid, and I'm gonna lose some. That's like the greatest fear I have. Greatest fear by far. Thank you so much to that Dematum for the prime. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let blue the advantage. Like I said, it's very hard to prove because after king e5, king d5, white just sits and waits, and you have to do I don't know how you're supposed to win this. Like a computer, of course, will win it, but for us humans, I don't think so. A fear only a grandmaster can have, absolutely. Like when Magnus played Kasparov, absolutely, exactly. When Magnus played Gary and Gary couldn't blow him off the board, in his mind, I'm sure Gary's like what the heck is going on? I'm playing a little kid or a little twat. Like, how is this happening? For sure, that was going through Gary's mind. He's like, what? He's like, what the hell? Like, what is this? Absolutely, 100%. That was in his mind. 100%. See what Canty does. He's down to 2 minutes here. Tani beats lots of title players 11-12. Well, Tani's very, very good too. This d6 is a beautiful puzzle rush checkmate, though. If it happens, that would be really, really neat. So anyway, once again, you guys, we will be doing some of our speedrun a little bit later on, playing some Blitz, moving along. But for right now, we're just chilling, covering Tata still for a little bit more, and then we'll go from there. So someone said something about New Orleans. I don't know what you're saying. I missed it. Canty might resign here. He might. Oh, Soupy. Yeah, you guys wanted me to take a look at the Soupy game or a Soupy match. Yeah, let me see it. Soupy played against Soupy. Where's this game? I don't see it. I see. Oh, Soupy and C. Wait, I don't see Brazil's flag, or am I just blind? Oh, there it is. He drew against Amin. I don't know what he drew. Okay, so Amin plays as Queen E3, and you know what's funny is I believe in the World Youth Chess Festival in 1998, somebody played Queen E3 against me. I think it was Olshas. Let me see if I can find the game. Olshas Nakamura. Let me see if I can find it. Oropesa. There's this guy Zamzine. I'm trying to find it. I guess I'll open ChessBase, see if I can find it there. Yeah, it was Kamzine Olshas. I remember the name. Let me just open ChessBase, take a quick look. But I'm pretty sure in like 1998 or 1999, there was somebody who played this against me. Okay, let me pull it up. It was Olshas Nakamura. So at any rate, yeah, so Queen E3 was played, Bishop E2. I know about this whole B6 setup. This is something that I'm not familiar with, but Black's up a pawn. Tricky to play though. White has a lot of play here. There's Bishop C4, weak pawns on both A5, A6. Can't really develop here. Definitely some counterplay for sure. Have I played Emery? Yeah, I played Emery Tate. I did a video on I played him I think at least 4 times. So we have a video on YouTube of my games against him. I think it was like 3 wins and 1 draw if I remember correctly. So yeah, I did play against the top G's dad. takes. Bishop c3, bishop d3. Actually, wait. The black's just up a pawn here. Surely this is winning. Actually, eval bar -2. What the heck? How did Supi mess this up? Oh, he allowed some weird exchange here where it's still a pawn, but it's rooks. Weak pawn, 2 connected. Still should be pretty good for black, but he just he allows us to get to a 4 versus 3. Like right around here, this should just be winning for black. Like d5 knight e4. What is this from Supi? Very, very weird. The game didn't show up, so let me do one more search. Why do I only stream 3 days a week? I find it be better to stream less but stream longer on a couple of days. I prefer doing that versus streaming like 5 days but streaming 4 hours on average. I prefer doing that more. What is Crispy's mod salary? Crispy's mod salary is a $500 Amazon gift card. That's his salary. Let's see, maybe it's in my personal database. Let me see. Okay. Outed, yes, outed, exactly. Yep. Mods get paid, exactly, of course they do. Come on, computer, pull up the game. Okay, so d5 would have been winning by Supi. He didn't do it. Game ended in like a 4 versus 3, and it's just ends up being a draw. So all right, let's go back to the actual game. Still can't find that game, which is kind of bothering me, but okay, so it should have been 2000. Oh, I found it. There we go. I found the game. So yes, by the way, you guys, of course I don't forget anything because I just found the game. Yeah, so it was queen d3, right? Oh wait, no, it was different. Sorry, it was different. So my game against Olshas that I was referring to was a little bit different. It had bishop g5, e6, queen d3. So it was a touch different. But that was a game that was played in the year of 2000. So just like 22 and a half years ago, just casual game. But I had it a little bit wrong. It was bishop g5, e6, and then queen d3. But whatever, nobody cares. So all right, so what do we have? Let's just go back to the A group. Let's leave it here, and away we go. What do we have? This is what, still 3 versus 2. King e5 should be played. I'll refresh just to make sure nothing happened. Oh wait, whoa, what happened? We got a lot of moves here. Check. Yeah, and now it's a dead draw. It's a dead draw because now the knight stops the king from ever getting out of the box. I just run the king back. Easy draw here for Arjun. Easy draw. You just go here, a3, not king c4, king c3, like here, and you just sit and wait. And your king is too passive. The knight guards the squares. Easy draw. Easy draw. English NLP for the prime. Lalo loves you for the prime. Blue 65 for the 15. Jay-Z Retech for the 10 and Scrolls for the 100 bits. Thank you so much. So easy draw here. Easy draw for Arjun. Like I said, what was the difference of king e8? What do you mean? King e8's winning? Knight d5? It doesn't change anything, does it? Oh, that's so absurd because basically now if you go bishop f6 here, I can go here, and I think e7 is, yeah, e7 is fine because I have check and knight b4. But if you do it with king e8, it's not the same because it's not a check. E7, the king is on e8, so it's not a check. So you go e7, I take and I go a3, and now there's no check, and that's ridiculous. That's just, oh man, that's obscene. Yeah, and now it's just a draw. Because see, because also after check, for example, if the king has to go back, you're actually, the king's not inside the box here because you have a2 and the bishop covers the square. So yeah, it's getting really annoying, I'm not gonna lie. It's such a clever combat for the 18 months. Yeah. So 5 decisive games out of the first 21 will plus through in the turn. I don't know, but again, as I said, you guys, this is why classical chess is dying. You have a very mixed field, a lot of players playing a variety of openings, but yeah, that's what that means. The draw rate is like 76%, 75, 76% draw rate. Like, I've got to be honest, for the fans who are watching, that's not exciting when there are that many draws. Like, nobody wants to watch like, you know, near 80% of the games ending in a tie. Like, what is a tie? Ties just don't exist in real sports. Although I shouldn't say that, because soccer is a real sport and the tie does exist, except not when it's you know, World Cup or Champions League or whatever. But still, at any rate, like, this is the problem with classical chess. But yeah, in when it's World Cup though, you cannot have a tie. When you have to have the 2 extra sessions and then the penalty kicks. So yeah, still somehow more viewers in your stream. Thank you for that, you guys. They have cams, they're covering it professionally. If they didn't have more viewers than me, I'd be concerned. So at any rate, yeah, this will be a draw. What else do we have? I'm just trying to pull up the other games. This one's a draw. Did Kamer's game ever end in a draw? I didn't even see. Kamer's game also going to be a draw. We have knight and 2 versus bishop 1. Should be a pretty straightforward draw here. G5 is good enough. You can also just sit and wait. At the end of the day, basically, you just make sure that you guard the pawn. That's a draw. Thank you so much, Bishi RL for the 3. Thank you so much for the 3-month resub. Let's see. Okay. This game's still going. Should be a draw. Although there is h5, knight t6, knight f5, maybe. Maybe some chances for black to create something, but objectively should be a draw still. Should be a draw. So, okay, this will be a draw. Arjun's game, just king d4, c4, king d4, c3. This is a classic box technique where the king is inside the box to stop the pawn. And it's of course a classic 90-degree right triangle as well. This stream is very fun and it's a draw. Lev offers a draw, and the game is drawn, and we get king e4, which is a huge blunder because a3 resigns. Everyone's like, "What's wrong with Lev? Arjun just blundered. He's a total moron for offering a draw." Reality is a4 is played. Lev offered a draw. Arjun accepted, and then you put the kings on the 2 central squares of e4, e5. So they put the kings on e4, e5, and it ends in a draw. But of course, anyone watches like, "What the heck? King e4 just blunders the game. Why was it a draw?" But a4 is played. Levon offered a draw. Game ends in a draw. So now both players will try to rush and get some dinner if they can. And we'll take a look at the Prague game as well. It should be a draw pretty soon too. Thanks to Lewis Well for the 2 beginnings for the 4 months. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, bishop c8 doesn't matter. Everything here is a draw. Thank you for explaining. I didn't know on the digital boards, if the game is a draw, you put the kings either e4, e5, the 2 mirrors, or d4, d5. If black wins the game, the black king is on e5, the white king is on d4. If white wins, it's the white king on e4, black king on d5. So that's on the digital boards. That's what happens when you see these random king moves that make no sense. So, okay, 1 game left in this group, B group. 1 game, not very exciting. Did Canty lose yet? Let's refresh. Still waiting on a move. I assume Canty lost is my guess, but I could be wrong. I guess he lost, but we'll see. It's a weird custom on DGT boards. I don't know. I mean, it's something with the programming, I assume, on the board to illustrate the result, but that's why sometimes you see like a random king move that loses the game, and you see like a result that doesn't make sense. That's the exact reason. Yeah, I mean, Canty it's still his move. Like, the game's still going. Let's take a look at Andrew Tate's game. Andrew is getting hammered too. Oh, geez. Rook e1, queen d3, and you just get mated. King c1, bishop a3, GG. And if you go king b2, just queen d2, you lose the rook, GG. Oh, wow. And if you go king c1, just bishop a3, GG. Ouch. So Andrew just got clean outplayed by a 2360 here. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. And the other game's still going. Top GG. Yeah, this is GG. By the way, I have to say that, like, Andrew just got outplayed from the get-go by this 2360. Again, London system, sometimes it's okay, but you can't do it every game, and his opponent just brings the heat, and Andrew just loses this game out of the opening. It's really just that simple. Just completely lost from the get-go. That's why you can't play London system every game, contrary to popular opinion. This is just over. Brutal. And if you go king b2, I just take, and unfortunately you have check, but after king g6 there's no check on g7. Your queen and your bishop can't do much, so you have to do something because you're getting mated in Uno, and that's just GG. So Andrew is going to lose. Jimmy is probably going to lose too. Not 30-second chess, also true. I think the Lev versus Arjun game, like I mean, I'm trying to understand it. Like once you see it, I understand it. But in the moment, to spot this, to me, I mean, this doesn't, like, to understand. Like, also, I don't understand, like, why does this, like, to understand, like, for example, I'll give you a better example. So, like, if we go back here, knight d7, like, why does king f5, why does, I mean, I guess this works too, but, like, it's just it's very weird, and it's very scary to allow these ideas where the king's not near the pawn. It feels wrong, it looks scary, doesn't look right at all. I mean, I don't think it's realistic without a lot of time on the clock. If you have 40 minutes there, maybe you can figure it out. Like 20 minutes ish and not knowing that it's winning, I don't think it's realistic at all to find the wins. So okay, Kamer's game still going. B group. Okay, we'll close this and we'll just leave it. King e8 was doable. King e8 was much more likely. Yeah, king e8 was much more likely here. But again, it also, king e8 feels wrong from a general standpoint because you worry about the check. Like, you think the check matters, but in reality it doesn't. Like, king d8 makes sense because this way there are no knight checks. So on a basic intuitive level, you want to dodge the checks from the knight. So that's why king e8 is much harder to play here. But I still am unconvinced that this is winning, unless, of course, you can go back for the whole triangulation later, which might be the only way to win here. Again, I don't think that's realistic to find. I don't think it's realistic. So that's just my 2 cents. Yeah, Kamer's game, of course, should be a draw. Let's see. Charlotte's game still going. Thank you so much to L2 Drips for the 5. So I'm going to take a short break, you guys. We'll take a really short break, come back in a second, and I think we will start the speed run or just play some Blitz very, very soon. But I'll just take a short break because I think I'll probably get going with other content in a second.